I actually was on the flight with Gordon Ramsay, and I've known Gordon for years. And he said to me, he said, you won't treasure this moment probably until a few years' time, because you're in it. So for me, it's just I'm going to work. And he was right.
Well, let's go back to the Met Bar in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously.
Oh, there's a few stories from there I could tell, that's for sure.
Well, you can tell us those in a minute. But I guess, I mean, back in the day, I mean, I remember, you know, in the tabloid press, I mean, it was in the papers, you know, day in, day out. There's always something going on there with, you know, some big name at the time. But I mean, was there ever a moment, you know, when you were stood in there and you kind of looked around and really felt that you'd made it?
I don't think I've ever felt that. I don't think I've ever stood there and thought that. Not in those moments, because that's like a bar. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't stand in a bar and think,
I don't mean in a bar, but you know, when you're, I guess, surrounded by the people that you probably used to read about, you know, when you were a kid.
They weren't really people I read about, because I've got to be really honest, because I've done it since I was a kid. I've never followed like other performers, and I've never like looked at them and seen them any different to me. Do you know what I mean? Because I've done it for so long. So I've never like been in awe of celebrity or seen it even as celebrity. They're just people that I work with. So not really. I think probably those moments when you have those little moments and you don't realise it until afterwards is probably like when I was on Broadway and there was a huge billboard in Times Square, and that was a bit of a weird moment because I wasn't even looking for it, and I was walking along to go to work and I just looked up and I was like, oh, well, that's a bit weird. Yeah, so it's not people that make me feel like I've made it, it's situations and places that you find yourself in where you suddenly go, oh, wow, this is a little bit of a pinch me moment. But again, at the time you don't really feel it, it's always afterwards. And I think when I did Chicago on Broadway, I actually was on the flight with Gordon Ramsay, and I've known Gordon for years. And he said to me, he said, you won't treasure this moment probably until a few years' time, because you're in it. So for me, it's just I'm going to work. And he was right. It wasn't until afterwards I thought, actually, that was quite a big deal, really, because they'd never really taken a Brit over to do something like that. I was the first.
I mean, I'm thinking while you're talking, I mean, for me, it's probably applicable, obviously in a different career, but, you know, like people always say to me, like, you know, like, when did you, I don't know, first feel successful? When did you, you know, really feel like that business has made it, or you know, you really made some money or something? And I always think for me, I probably never really felt it because I mean, even if you look back, you were still always in the moment. It's like, okay, you know, you were looking forward to, I don't know, buying that house or buying that car or selling that business. But when you actually do it, there's probably something else that you've got to get stuck into anyway, another business and another aspect of life, and whether it's just that you don't get to enjoy it, or whether it's that you get desensitized to it because, you know, you're doing it day in day out. I guess it's probably, I guess in hindsight, a question always asked by people from a completely different industry or a completely different walk of life to you, because I think, you know, whatever you do, you know, whenever you ask someone about stresses in their careers or highs and lows or whatever, they probably always give you an answer that sounds almost like boring and vanilla compared to what you'd think, because, you know, when you're doing it day in, day out, it just is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's my job at the end of the day, and it's a job that I love, and I'm really grateful that I still get to do it at a level where I can enjoy it, you know, and share it with my friends and family, because I think that's the thing for me. It's being able to share those moments, you know, that's what's really nice. Like when I was in New York, my whole family flew over, and it was just nice to have like my grandmother there, and Sylvia Young came. So it's moments like that.
How long did you do Broadway for?
So I was there for a few months. I did the London run, and then they asked me to go back to London because New York had gone really well. And then I went back to New York after that, because then Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote me a one-woman show, so I had to go over and rehearse that in New York. So I spent a couple of years over there. Cool. I loved it. It's great.